Last time on Improv Tabletop, our heroes found themselves speeding towards a stolen Fire Nation warship that was being attacked by Heiran, of great renown within the Fire Nation and across the world in general. They spoke with Heiran and discovered that this ship had been overtaken by the pirates and that on board the ship was an inventor from the Fire Kingdom by the name of Tei Isuni, and that Heiran was like, this lady's my friend, we need to save her, but here's let's be strategic about this. You folks don't know anything about leading a defensive siege tactic, so I'm going to go back to the shore and take care of everybody who's working there, and the three of you maybe can get on the ship and try and save my friend and also maybe negotiate with these pirates a little bit. So you approached the ship, and instantly Io claimed you were not happy about being protectors of the island and you wanted to join the pirates, which turned out to be a surprisingly effective tactic because that's exactly what your old buddy Mirlon had said not too long ago. Yippee! Who was on the ship with the pirates. So you got onto the ship and decided to split in a couple different directions. Io and Natsuki decided that you wanted to go and try and find the inventor, headed down into the belly of the ship, and along the way got into an altercation. Some of the crew members were in the middle of a Fight Club style Lei match, and Io decided to step in and say that he was their new coach because he'd been so involved with the Fight Clubs in Bossing Sei, and did manage to create a big enough distraction so that Natsuki could continue further on down into the ship. And as she was going down through the ship, she discovered some people talking about some dissension happening on the ship between Tagaka, the queen of the pirates, and her first-in-command, Erkte, who have different ideas about how they want to treat the people of the island as they're trying to take it over. Tagaka wants to just completely enslave everybody and be the big bad ruler, whereas Erkte, it seems like he wants to be a bit more diplomatic about it if possible. But Natsuki was able to move past these people by disguising herself as an interior decorator and went further on down into the ship. While all of this was happening, it was Yarru who teamed up with Erkte to go and actually speak with Tagaka, the pirate queen, entered into her chambers and had a conversation in which she promised that they would team up and gave Tagaka some information about a shrine located on the island, an ancient turtle shrine, where supposedly, quote-unquote, this was where the spiritual power that grew the golden jasmine came from, and if this turtle shell, this relic, were to be removed from the island, perhaps that could allow the jasmine to grow in other places. Tagaka was very happy to hear this and said, all right, let's go make our alliance public. And that is where we're going to pick up now with our party in 3 separate places. How is this going to work? Let's find out here in the world of Jasmine Island. What's shaking, everybody? You're listening to ImpTab Avatar Jasmine Island, the Avatar Legends actual play where we have ended up making more on the spot than I expected we might going into this campaign. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and today I'm joined by
Christian Randall, a little stuffy, but happy to be here.
Connor Wood, Christian may be sick, but I'm radical.
Sammy Ryan, I put my pants on backwards today.
Hey, yo.
Well, you've got them, unlike Christian in our last recording, apparently, which none of us knew until the very end.
Now we all know.
Oh, man. So we talked beforehand about a couple things that we're going to do during this episode. One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to introduce some cursed pie show tiles into this campaign. This is something that I've been doing in Serpent Sea Sagas that is stolen from a technique used by J.C. Caves Callerman when she was GMing Deadlands for the Saving Throw show. That's a very good campaign. You should go check that out, by the way. The idea behind cursed pie show tiles, at the beginning of every session, each of my players is going to get 3, count them, 3 cursed pie show tiles. These behave kind of like luck points in D&D, kind of like fate points in Fate, kind of like bennies in Savage Worlds. The idea is, at any time, if you make a roll and you don't like the result and you want to re-roll, you can give me, the GM, 1 of your 3 cursed pie show tiles. And then when I collect 3 of those, 1 for each of my players, I then have the prerogative to spend those to pull a hard GM move and make something interesting happen within the narrative. So a fun little bit of give and take that we got going on here. The other thing that we talked about is giving the players some time to maybe scheme how they want to work their way through this. You know, not necessarily saying that planning always works the best in RPG sessions, because surely something is going to go astray, but we can at least give them a little bit of an opportunity to try and work out a rough sketch of how they want to proceed moving forward. So, folks, we got one of you up in the captain's quarters, one of you in the middle of a fighting ring, and one of you heading further down into the belly of the beast. Talk, scheme, plot against the DM.
Oh boy. I think we need to find a way to reconvene.
My hope is, so little peek behind the screen of my brain. I've been thinking about this since we last recorded. I have genuinely been
my dude.
Like, before I go to bed and falling asleep, I'm thinking, okay, how in the world do we not, immediately derail the entire campaign by giving the island to a pirate? My plan is pretty simple, actually.
Okay. We
get back up on board. You bring the inventor up. We have our firebender jump in a getaway boat with the inventor. We have our earthbender, who is very good at tricking and being creative, sort of lead this idea that basically my hope is she's going to get up on deck and explain, we're making an alliance. And then we will say, what are you talking about? That's not what we agreed on, you coward. You're betraying your crew. Basically just cause mass confusion. And in that confusion, get the people we need off the ship. And then I use waterbending, you use firebending, earthbending, whatever we can, and we just try to scuttle the boat and run in the confusion.
Awesome. Is there a way where we can plant the idea in case the boat doesn't sink, or in case they're still able to amass like a force to attack us? Is there a way we can let loose that there's a specific part of the island that is like poorly defended or has a weak point, just in case we need to
Yeah, well, the reason that we were going to call her a coward is that the reason that she is trying to make an alliance with us is we're protected by a great spirit, and she's afraid of it. And so they wouldn't want to come to the island at all, hopefully. But if they do, then they're going to come for the spirit, which is, I think that's a great idea. Maybe in one of the protected coves, and we can get your defensive set up there.
Didn't you say there is actually like a tortoise shrine type thing?
Yes. So
we could prepare an ambush, potentially, if they were to get to the island, we could have some sort of ambush or something around that area.
Yeah.
Cool.
So my plan is basically to say she's scared of this spirit, this island spirit, and that's why she's trying to make an alliance. She's betraying her crew. We just cause chaos and confusion. We try and run, and then hopefully they just leave.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I mean, that's not how it's going to work, but let's try it.
I like it. Presumably, is there coal on board? I feel like last time, didn't we establish there's a little coal or something?
There's coal on board to help with the steaming, yeah.
I think that's the only thing I can bend in this area.
Yeah, so you'll want to make sure you grab some of that.
Yeah. Assuming I live through the next 10 in-game minutes. But
one other detail from last session that will likely be helpful that I want to remind us of is Aya, when you were examining the ship for a way in, out, or through, you noticed some loose paneling on the outside of the ship where some of the rivets had popped loose.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, my plan is to start throwing ice in there and expanding and cracking and popping as soon as we can start causing chaos and confusion. So my hope is that you two end up on the deck and I can quickly explain a semblance of that plan, and then we can start the ball rolling.
Cool.
Well, with people ending up on the deck, we know that Yarru is about to end up on the deck because Tagaka is actively leading you onto the deck at this exact moment. But let's check in with our other two. In fact, Sammy and Connor, each of you roll a d6 for me, and we'll see who we'll pick up with right here, right now.
I got a 3.
I got a 6.
All right.
I think that's you.
So we're going to continue our delve further into the belly of the beast. So you're trying to get 3 successes before the dungeon clock fills up too much and people start becoming aware of your nefarious schemes. So we're going to have you roll, just like last session, +2 in order to continue moving down into the dungeon.
7.
Partial success on your delve, so you are going to get only one of those 3 options. And again, there is only the one of those options that actually gains you a point of progress towards completing the dungeon. The area head is unique somehow and or connected to a theme of the dungeon. The GM will describe it and may also prompt you for input. Then I will make an appropriate dungeon move and you gain 1 progress.
So I obviously want to do the one that progresses, and that means we have 2, right?
Yes, you're at 2 out of 3.
Sounds good to me.
So the area head is unique somehow and or connected to a theme of the dungeon. I think the theme that we're going to tie into for this layer of the boat, because you just finished going down this stairwell, there were the people on the landing above who were talking about Erkte versus Tagaka. This next layer of the boat, the theme we're going to kind of tap into here is the experimental and kind of hacked together nature of this Fire Nation warship. You can see that there are along the walls, this is a much more open kind of space with pillars holding up the deck. This is kind of a cargo holdy sort of area where the floor above you is more like cabins, chambers where people were actually being. Down here, there's a lot of just various crates and barrels, tarps holding them down. But you can see along the walls, there are areas where some of the pirates are, it's not just the exterior paneling of the ship that is kind of popping open, some of the rivets breaking. There's also interior paneling doing the same thing. So you see like over on one side, not too far from you, an earthbender there who has an entire barrel of coal that he's like pushing up against one of the warping panels, trying to hold it flat. And then there's a firebender who's like trying to spark, like trying to create sort of a welding torch with his fingers and trying to like weld it back closed, but isn't doing it very well, not very precise. I mean, this guy isn't Amar Okami. Come on.
Yeah.
So all around various parts of this layer of the ship, there's some people who are kind of like looking through the cargo, just kind of like, oh, what did these Fire Nationals have on them? But, this is part of our loot now. But there are also people trying to like actively repair the ship. So it's a bit more bustling down here than it was on the previous layer.
Can I assess the situation?
You may. Go ahead and roll plus creativity.
I don't think I have any creativity. Nope. I got a 7.
A 7. All right, so that would give you 1 question from the list. What here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way in, out, or through? Who or what is in the greatest danger?
Yeah, I definitely want to ask what's my best way out, in, or through. In this case, I want to say like through to maybe like the leader of this like repair crew.
Okay. Looking around, trying to get a bead on who is the person in charge here. It's very ragtag. So you essentially are like, who's the most stressed out looking person on this level of the ship, essentially? And you can see off to one end, there is, in fact, a person relatively small. This guy is wiping sweat from his forehead actively as you are kind of approaching up to him. You see he's wearing some Water Tribe garb, and he's talking to a couple of women who are much, much taller than him. And getting even closer, you can hear the conversation they're having. This man is like, well, I mean, I don't really know how to deal with the metal, and I'm not going to talk to the inventor downstairs anymore because the last time I talked to the inventor downstairs, I almost got one of my legs ripped off. And the 2 ladies are like, okay, but Tagaka is not going to be happy if you don't bring us some results that we can bring back to her. So the very kind of stressful situation that they're already in, the best way through to this guy, potentially to, I don't know, maybe use his stress to your advantage at this point. He's probably not thinking the most clearly.
Yes.
But I'll give you another potential thing for what's a way through. As you're passing by closer to him, you can see these various panels that have popped open on the outside. There's one where for a moment you can be like, oh, I see sunlight through the gaps in the interior and exterior panels.
That's probably fine.
Okay, so this ship is gonna pop. I want to go up to the stressed out man and like kind of put my hand like near his shoulder but not on his shoulder to like comfort him and say, hey, I know it can be so hard talking to the inventor. How about I go talk to her for you?
Yeah, I think we'll make this a plead. When you plead with an NPC who cares what you think for help, support, or action. Roll plus harmony.
Guys, that is my third 7 in a row. But let's see what I have for harmony. +1, so 8.
Okay, so on a partial success, they need something more. Evidence that this is the right choice, guidance in making the right choices, or resources to aid them before they act. I tell you what they need. On a 10 plus, they act now and do their best until the situation changes. So you could try and spend a cursed Pai Sho tile to reroll and potentially bring it up to a full success.
Yes, I would like to do that. How many do I have?
You all start with 3, beginning of every session, and it resets at the beginning of every session.
Okay, this time was a 10.
There we go. So that is 1 cursed Pai Sho tile that goes to Ned. And yeah, you show up, and the 2 women that he was talking to are looking you up and down, kind of Mean Girls style. Like, who's this woman that just showed up? And with your interior decorator sort of costume that you put on, you couldn't help but put together a very nice looking getup, even with all of just like the haggard bits and pieces that you could find along the walls. And they look at you and they're like, oh, she actually like knows what she's doing. What's going on? And they look like they're going to try and stop you, but the sort of ad hoc leader of this repair crew instantly steps in front and he's like, no, that's great. Yeah, you know what, yeah, you go talk to her, and maybe you can lose potentially a limb this next time. All right, yeah, so just head right on down there. And the other 2 girls are like, wait, but no, you just head right on down. Maybe I'll never see you again, but that's okay.
And do I see the entrance to the downstairs anywhere?
Yep, there's another stairwell on the far side here that continues to head further down. And you can see as you approach it, there is a bit of flickering happening on the far wall, as if there's maybe some sort of flame or furnace that is currently running down on the lowest deck.
I really wish that my team was with me to talk to this girl. I feel like things would go a lot smoother if I wasn't by myself. But I'm gonna go downstairs and straighten my back and look around for the inventor, I guess.
All right. As you start heading down to the next floor, Io, would you say that you are trying to defend and maneuver, advance and attack, or evade and observe?
Probably evade and observe.
Yeah, I'd say that makes sense.
I'm trying to be like little and like fast.
So let's have you clear 1 fatigue and roll with creativity or harmony.
Okay.
Audience, this is an interesting way to introduce you to the combat rules of Avatar Legends, since we're not in like a full-on combat at the moment per se, but those are the different sort of basic techniques that you can follow. You choose your stance. Are you defend and maneuvering, advance and attacking, or evade and observing? And each of those gives you different techniques you can use from that point forward. So, Io, how's that roll looking?
Pretty good. I got 11.
Very nice.
Is this our first exchange?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so you got a full success on your evade and observe. So you can choose to mark 1 fatigue to use a learned technique, use 1 practice technique, or use 2 different basic or master techniques. I don't believe we have any techniques that you are currently learning or practicing, so they're all basic or mastered for you at this point. So yeah, you can choose 2 of these techniques to use against Fracture, as he calls himself.
All right. I'm going to bolster, or rather hinder, inflicting... Do I pick the status?
Describe what you do to hinder him, and then we'll figure out together which one makes the most sense in the fiction.
I would like to stun him with how absolutely none of these hits are landing.
Yeah, stunned. You're caught off guard. You can't act or respond for a few seconds until you steady yourself. So what do you think, if you do have like a fighting style that you developed in the fighting rings of Ba Sing Se, what animal would you attach to it?
Ooh. Okay, so I think we've established a little bit that I have skipped a couple classes to attend these seedy fighting events, presumably at places with seedy beverages. So I would like to adapt like a squirrel monkey, like drunken master-esque approach where the moves are unpredictable and like a almost nonsensical fluidity. So I think animal-wise, it would probably be like a squirrel monkey. Sounds about right.
Yeah. So you're just like ducking in and out of the frame. I imagine like if this were shot in the cartoon, we would have Fracture standing in the center of the frame and like trying to punch at you, and you're just like disappearing from the left side of the frame and suddenly reappearing on the right side. And then he goes to punch you, you duck down, and then from the top of your frame, both of your hands come in and like bop him on the side of the face.
Yeah.
So he he is just like so out of his element. This is a guy who is about like just brute force using his height and his intimidating stature against his opponents. And noticing that you're just like not intimidated by that at all, he is a little bit out of his element.
Sweet.
You can hear people from the crowd being like, dude, this guy, like, we should hire this guy to be our coach. Holy cow.
Yeah.
So, and then at the end of an exchange, well, I guess I probably should give him an opportunity to try and do something as well.
Yeah.
We're going to say he'll try and test your balance.
Okay.
He's going to mark 1 fatigue to challenge an engaged foe's balance. Ask what their principle is. They must answer honestly. If you already know their principle, instead shift their balance away from center by questioning or challenging their beliefs or perspective. So your balance principles, Connor, could you tell us what Io's balance principles are?
Yes. It is tradition and progress.
Okay, tradition and progress. So I think what he's going to do is be like, these techniques are something fancy, but don't you even care about the grand tradition of our battles? Why don't you fight like the Daofei have fought for ages past?
The Daofei wouldn't be winning this fight, my friend. I think there's a lot of like winding up to swing that turns out to be just leading into another dodge, which makes the bops all the more unexpected.
Okay, so I think we can give you maybe a couple different opportunities here. You can try and, I don't know, maybe intimidate Fracture into backing off, or maybe you can try and like plead with the audience to try and get them even more on your side.
I think weirdly enough, I'm going to try and intimidate. I think there's this loosey-goosey Cactus Juice Sokka-esque fluidity to this fight, up until a point where I want to have him, like, when I recognize he is most off balance, I'm going to try and bend a clump of coal around a fist and have it wound up to the point that it looks like it's really going to hurt, and, like, you know, drop any sort of goofy semblance on my face and just give him a look like, do you want to keep going and take this hit, or are we done?
So being at the end of our exchange here, mechanically the way that combat works, it all happens in exchanges. So everybody does their action and it all kind of plays out in this cool martial arts flurry. And then at the end of every exchange, everybody gets to check in and say, do we want to keep fighting or do we want to do some other stuff in between? So now that we are in between exchanges, this is a perfect time to roll to intimidate an NPC into backing off or giving in. Roll with passion.
So my passion's 0, but I might have... Oh, yes! Black Koala Sheep. When you behave in a way that shocks and unsettles people from one of your background... oh, he's not from my background. Rats. That's okay.
Yeah, you're the privileged urban...
Yeah, I don't think this is that guy.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. 0 modifier. Yo! Okay, that's a 12 on the roll.
Boy.
I have cameraed the dice to say, like, I'm not bullcrapping.
I love that the two sort of separate arcs we're following here. The one where it's like, let's save this very important quest NPC is not getting the greatest rolls, and the one where it's like, let's trick these guys into thinking that I'm good at fighting.
Yeah!
Getting the very good rolls.
Let's mess with the guys at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you go in with that just like clump of coal around your fist, and Fracture, you see his demeanor fractures. His face just like turns downward into a grimace, and you see from those eyes that are like half covered by his bandana, tears beginning to well up, and he falls to his knees. Okay, I promise I will follow all of your teaching, Sensei. You will teach me, and I will become the best fighter ever under your tutelage. And he bows down on the Leitai in front of you.
That's what I like to hear. Pupil, I'm gonna like flick the coal back to the coal pile. Fracture, I hereby dub thee Pebble.
He looks up a little confused, like, wait, but like I spent a lot of time trying to, build up that name and that reputation, and I think it'd be really cool if I could like hang on to maybe a little bit of the
My friend, you brought up a great point during our bout, how on one end there is tradition, on the other end there is progress. Fracture ties you to this tradition. Do you want to make progress, or do you want to fight like me? Point to my 5'4" self.
Behind you, he sees all of the other members of the crew who are just like nodding in approval at you. And he's like, I wish to fight like my sensei. And he bows down. And you have a new sidekick, apparently.
Great choice, my friends. Now work on some cardio or something. I'm gonna go do my exercises We'll reconvene on the deck in a little. And I give him like a really poorly executed bow.
Yeah, and the guy who is sort of like nominally in charge of this fighting ring before you show up is like, all right, take 10, everybody. And everybody goes, thank you, 10. And they start heading off in their own separate directions.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna try and hop to and meet up with Natsuki.
Okay, yeah, you start sprinting your way through. I'll say because Natsuki has already kind of like cleared the path ahead of you, you go rushing past, and like the two people on the stairwell, they're like, oh yeah, we have all kinds of people coming through here already. Interior designers, this guy looks like maybe he's helping out with that situation. So nobody's like questioning you as you're going past.
Sweet.
And right as Natsuki is about to start heading down into the stairwell, suddenly Sammy, Natsuki hears from behind her like this screech on the metal flooring and a panting noise.
Good news! I'm alive! And I think I have a whole like dojo waiting for us later.
Wow, I guess all your time in your seedy places really did pay off.
Oh man, I skipped all the right classes apparently. I'm glad you're still alive. You want to go meet this psycho or whatever?
Inventor, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool.
Now, let's have you roll. We're continuing on this delve. That'll be 2d6 plus 2. You only need one more progress in order to make it to the end.
Well, that's 6 between the two dice. Well, that was a 6, so 7, 8.
All right. Now that you're not trying to convince anybody that you're a good fighter anymore.
I used all my luck on the very important fight club I was attending.
All right. That would give you your final point of progress, unless you want to go for one of the other two ones.
Nah.
Okay. The next area is unique somehow and or connected to a theme of the dungeon. The GM will describe it. It may also prompt you for your input. Okay, first, let's say, Io, what is the weird smell that is pervading the air as you get down to the lower hold of the ship?
Every great inventor has their quirks, and I think this one is really into half-fermented lychee berries. Like, I feel like that is their favorite snack and what they consider brain food, even though it might give them, like, a stomach bug or something. I don't know. I feel like that's probably a big part of the smell.
Okay, Natsuki, what is the most troubling looking invention that you see on a big old table right as soon as you step into the lower hold?
Oh, interesting. Okay. The most troubling. I'm immediately imagining like the creepy toys from Toy Story. So we're going to go with like a spider looking body with like the head of Tagaka.
Whoa, cool.
Okay, horrifying.
And like you see that thing right face to face. It's like, ah. And Io, you kind of poke it and you see that the face is made of wax. It's like a full-on, weirdly human, realistic looking wax figurine head on top of this invention.
Yeesh.
Firebender with wax. I never realized the magic that could be created there.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is, yeah, very cool.
And you two are like, okay, it's just wax. You hear from behind this table, all right now, sonny, just step right into these spider legs and we'll get you on your way. And you hear another voice like, well, no, I don't want to get into the spider legs. I want my regular legs. I like my regular human legs. Oh, no, come on. You'll be pleased as punch when you got 8 mechanical legs moving you around. And you kind of like, from either side of Tagaka's head, we see your heads peer around. Sure enough, there is Tei Isuni, this fairly like hunched old woman. She's standing on top of a couple crates that have been packed on top of each other, kind of like apple box style. There is this other pirate crew member that she is like pulling, trying to get him into this harness of sorts, kind of, I guess, Wild Wild West Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Like this sort of spider leg contraption. And he is resisting all along the way. You know what, maybe I should go, maybe I could find a different person to try. I'm such a weakling. I wouldn't be the right person to test out your new invention. Oh, but it's only because you're so weak that I'm trying to help you by giving you greater mechanical strength. So this is the situation that you find yourselves entering into.
I want to say, like, let's volunteer and get this guy out of here, but also, I don't want to wear those. That stresses me out.
I'm okay with wearing them.
Okay.
I feel like I can handle it.
Ahem. I subtly clear my throat.
Oh, what's that? And she turns towards you and hops off the apple crates and starts just over your way. And she gets right up into you. And as she exhales, you can smell on her breath just the fermenty, ethanol-y, floral, but also kind of like a foot stink from the bad fermentation going on.
Yummy.
You're the one's gonna try out my contraption?
Enchanté, mademoiselle. Yep. Natsuki, go for it.
Oh, okay. I would like to.
I mean, not Natsuki. Yes, Suki, go for it. Are we using code names? I don't think it matters.
Apparently not now.
Yeah.
We could have. I would like to Bonzu Pippin Paddleopsicopsilus III, if I could.
Yes.
In line with all of the weird different personas I've been taking on, I'm going to pretend that I was sent down here specifically to wear these spider legs.
Okay. Bonzu Pippin Paddleopsicopsilus III. This is your special move that you have, being the icon. When you trick an NPC by assuming a silly disguise or fake identity, mark insecure to treat your roll as if it was 12 plus. So what is your silly disguise or fake identity that you put together?
Okay, so I'm actually going to... yes, I'm Yasuki, and
Nice. I say out loud in character.
I have been sent down here to help you finish this invention.
And I'm Bio.
Yeah,
That's my real name.
Bio.
Yeah, she looks towards you and kind of burps in your direction and then gives a sniff and is like, oh yes, very, very, very appropriate name you got there. So Natsuki, you just go ahead and mark insecure. We're going to treat this as a full success to trick an NPC. Wahoo! So you get to pick 2. They stumble, take +1 forward to acting against them. They act foolishly. I tell you what additional opportunity they give you, or they overcommit. They are deceived for some time.
I guess we'll have them overcommit. I get to pick 2?
Correct.
We'll have them act foolishly, and the GM tells us what opportunity they give us.
Yeah, Tay sees you, says, oh, a fire national just like myself. Of course, they would send somebody like you to come and help me with this instead of this pathetic man right over here. And you can see the pirate is like, aw, and he's like, kicks sort of embarrassed at the spider leg contraption. And when he does, the leg like kicks up and starts moving on its own. I'm trying to remember the name of like, in some Nordic country, they make these things called strand beasts, I think is what they are.
Whoa.
Christian's nodding his head. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where it's like these weird mechanical contraption-like creatures where they've got like pulleys and joints and gears and stuff. So somebody just like pushes it and it moves along, like all of the various limbs of this creature sort of moving, rippling along, almost like sort of centipede, millipede legs or whatever.
Cool.
And so like he bumps up against one of the legs of the spider contraption and that sets it into motion, and the other legs start like picking up and moving on their own, and this thing starts like crab scuttling off to the side into one of the crates. And Tay Yasuni says, oh dear, you go take care of that right now. So she is distracted trying to help out with this situation. This guy who's broken one of the crates containing a bunch of components that she uses for her inventions. So they are both very distracted right now. You can use that to your advantage, and they overcommit. They are deceived for some time.
Can I lean into Bio and whisper something that the other people can't hear?
Yes.
Is there anything that you can bend in this room?
I look around for not metal.
Yeah, so being like right here in the hold, you can definitely see that flickering light that you had seen in the stairwell. There is a large metal furnace right in the center of this space, and it's got ports feeding into it from all sides, and there are just huge stacks of coal spilling out of crates onto the ground. So tons and tons of coal down here in the hold.
Yes, Suki. Yes, there is.
Yes. Okay. I don't feel like this inventor is going to come with us willingly. What if we get her in the spider legs?
Yeah, let's get her. How big is this lady?
Yeah, she's bent and bowed to a nice solid, let me roll to see, 3'7".
Cool. Is the wuss pirate still here?
Yeah, he is all tangled up, like he's trying to stop the legs as they're moving, and so he's got like all 4 of his limbs tangled up in the various spider limbs of this contraption, and he has stopped it moving by this point, and he's like, oh, come on.
You there, coward! What's your name?
My name? Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, tell me. While I look at you intensely.
My name is Calic.
Disciple Calic, I will save you, but you must go to the dojo and do some workouts.
Disciple? Okay. As soon as I can get myself extricated... Ow, my arm. As soon as I can get myself extricated from... I will definitely go to the dojo. Wait, you're the new coach. Word has managed to spread, even all the way down here, even in such a short amount of time.
You may call me Sensei Io, even though my real name is Bio, but you gotta earn that. Anyway, I'm gonna try and get this thing off of him so we can get out of here.
Yeah. Let's have you just, I suppose, rely on your skills and training real quick to try and take care of that.
Awesome.
That'll be 2d6 plus focus.
Oh, okay. Plus focus, my focus +1. All right, so 10 on the roll. We got an 11.
And here you are trying to convince somebody that you're a cool fighter. Yeah. So, yeah.
It always works.
On a hit, you do it. So you're able to successfully extricate this guy, get the spider legs back stable to where they were before. And with the trick an NPC, Sammy, that you just did with Natsuki, they act foolishly, they overcommit. I'll say it won't be difficult to get Tay into these legs as long as you can give her a compelling argument why she should.
Okay.
I need to look at what these legs look like from the outside with somebody else inside of them. So I'm going to need you to step in there really fast so I can help you finish this invention.
Why, of course. Just uppies.
That was easy. Let's give her uppies.
I was going to say, was she saying uppies?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's small, so.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 3'7". So two of you grab her, put her into the spider legs.
She says, well, it's simple. I got some of these are actuated with the feet. Some of them are actuated with the hands.
And so she puts her feet into a couple of stirrup-looking contraptions and grabs a couple of joystick kind of flight yoke-looking things, and she starts moving them in very arcane directions where it's like, I don't know why moving any of those things in that direction is making the spider legs move in the direction they are going. But she's like, yeah, you just walk around like this. And eventually I'm hoping to get it to the point that you can actually go up vertical surfaces, but I ain't discovered the proper materials yet for that.
Whoa.
But yeah, look at this. I can go up over these crates. And she just like how with an actual spider, somehow they move so much faster than you feel like they should be able to. Just like suddenly she's on top of one of the crates.
Whoa.
See, it's a good invention, right?
Pretty cool. I look around for her stash of fermented lychee berries or whatever it is she's munching.
Oh yeah, right on her main sort of work table, there's this huge jar with the lid open. You can see there's a little bit of mold growing around the rim of the lid, which you never want to see in a fermentation. If you're trying to ferment stuff at home and you see mold, get rid of it, try again.
Yep.
But yeah, that's definitely where they are.
Wanna come with us? We brought treats for you. I shake this nasty jar.
Oh, I overcommit. I'm deceived for some time. Where you heading?
Awesome! This direction!
All right.
Woohoo!
I thought this would go. I was going to weld her into it like a cage. This did not go the way I thought it was going to
Yes,
go.
melt the bottom half of this old woman.
No, I was going to move the legs up around.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she was in a little cage.
Sometimes you go carrot, sometimes you go stick. I think these rotten carrots are gonna do the trick.
You know what? Simple. The answer is simple. Thank you, Aya.
Yeah. Sorry, Bio.
Oh, right,
It's Bio right now.
Haven't trained in the dojo long enough to earn your real name.
Yeah, we'll get you there.
Yeah, so she is like, all right,
So where we heading now?
Towards all the hubbub on the deck. Wait, not the deck. I think you gotta take this old Betty and get out of here. Yeah, you gotta take this old Betty and get out of here. I'm gonna meet back up with my brother's wife or whatever.
You're looking great in that invention. Come upstairs with me. I want to see you in the sunlight.
Yeah, and in a boat.
Oh, I ain't actually seen the sunlight, and goodness gracious, I ain't been able to keep track of the passage of time down here because there ain't been no sunlight by which to do it.
Oh, it's great. It makes rotten berries taste so good. You're gonna love it.
all right. So you start heading her up towards the next floor. Those two women who were standing there beforehand, looking at Natsuki all Mean Girls style, they are standing there once again, and they see the spider leg contraption moving out of the darkness, and they both flinch back, but then they recompose themselves, and they're like, what are you doing with the inventor?
Spider Woman, get him! I'm just trying to scare him.
All right, we're trying to intimidate an NPC into backing off or giving in. Roll plus passion.
Oh no. I wasn't trying to convince him I'm good at fighting, so it's a bad roll.
Oh no.
I got 4 on the die.
Oof.
And then what's you said passion?
Passion.
Okay, 0.
Yeah, all right, so that's a 4. That is a full failure. Would you like to spend a cursed pie show tile?
Yeah, dog, curse me up.
All right, so that is 2 pie show tiles for Ned. Go ahead and re-roll.
Oh no. I got a 7.
Okay, we're up to a partial. There we go.
Spider-Woman, attack!
All right, so on a hit, they're going to choose one of the following options. They run to escape or get back up. They back down but keep watch. They give in with a few stipulations. They attack you, but off balance, the GM marks a condition on them. I think they run to escape and get back up.
Cool.
They turn around and they're like, the inventor's loose! The inventor's loose, everybody! And start screaming away from this side, but they're just alerting all of the repair crew down here in the hold, and they all start looking towards you. I'm going to roll to see how many people there are, and then I'm going to roll to see whether those people are intimidated and want to run away, or if any of them are actually going to try and help to stop the loose inventor. Okay, so we've got 7 people in total down here. You know, I want to put together sort of a diminishing dice pool, basically.
Sweet.
This is something that I've adopted from Grimwild that we have used in the past in our Varric World campaign, actually. I've got 7d6s. I'm going to have each of these represent one of the people down here in this hole. I'm going to roll all of them, and if any of them are a 1 to 3, that represents the fact that this person is so intimidated by the inventor that they're going to run away. If it's a 4 to 6, they're going to try and stop the inventor. And once we get to the point where all of these have been eliminated from the group, then everybody has run away and you are in the clear. So, first roll, that is 1113. So, right off the bat, 4 of these people hear that the inventor is loose and they all just scream in unison. In fact, not entirely in unison. First, one person screams, "Ah!" and the next person, "Ah!"
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
And
You got a talented crew.
Wow.
They can sing, they can dance. What can't they do?
yeah, perfect 4-part harmony. They go running away. All right, so that means, though, there are 3 people, though, who, hearing that the inventor is loose, they come there was one who was sort of up in some nets that were hanging stuff from the top, leaps down and does a double somersault through the air, lands in front of you, and pulls out a couple of cudgels from behind his back that were tucked into his waist sash. And then from either side, 2 more people come swinging in on ropes, and they skid to a halt and cross in front of the other person in perfect 3-point stances. And they each pull out a sort of whip that has bits and bobs tied into it along the way, and they both crack them in unison off to the opposite side. And you're just like, is this entire ship crewed by circus performers? What is going on? These 3 people are right in front of you, getting ready to try and stop you from escaping with the inventor. And I think that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Yeah!
Oh no.
With these future lion tamers blocking our path.
Yeah, it was definitely a deliberate decision because Christian, you're sick right now and we can't have you straining your voice by actually being part of the session, right?
We just want you to watch us roll dice while you're ill.
Oh, it's the best.
Now our party is only split into 2 separate groups instead of 3 separate groups, so there's that.
Ayo.
Progress.
And we got a +1.
Yeah.
With 8 legs.
It went so wrong so fast. How?
I know.
Why?
I used all my luck in the wrong places.
That's what your parents tried to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, thanks for joining us in this episode of Improv Tabletop. We'll be back next time with more adventures in the world of Jasmine Island. If you want more, go ahead and subscribe, maybe even give us a review. We would be as happy as a bunch of circus performers who have been tied up on a ship for who knows how long, just feeling so repressed without an opportunity to perform, if you go ahead and give us a review on the podcatcher of your choice. We also have a bunch of social media accounts that I have actually posted on recently.
I saw.
Imagine that, trying to let people know that our podcast is doing new stuff.
We're back.
So they are somewhat active, I suppose.
Heyo.
That's a way that you can get in touch with us. But if you want to really get in touch with us, we've got improvtabletop@gmail.com, or we've got our patron-exclusive Discord that you can join and be chatting with us all the time. And speaking of that Patreon, it's time to shout out our next batch of Sticker Club patrons. And the people we're shouting out this week are Adrian Garneau, Colin Greenwood, and Dava Tuttle.
Yeah!
I know those people.
Yeah, they're awesome. They have great taste.
These three had previously tried to help out with some of Tei Isuni's experiments, and as such, have been given medical leave for the remainder of the tour.
They're taking a vacation in the spirit realm.
They're taking a vacation in the experimental spa that Tei Isuni made that actually does work.
Wow.
This is the only invention that actually unambiguously works and people like. So, the three of you get to just relax in some nice, warm, rejuvenating water full of Epsom salts and suds, while everybody else on the ship is either getting freaked out by a spider lady or trying to do some cardio to impress their awesome new bending coach.
Yeah, sorry about your new amount of limbs.
But those limbs are not aching whatsoever because of this delightful spa that actually works well and that people actually enjoy and like using.
That's right.
Now, if you, dear listener, want to join the ranks of the Sticker Club, consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/improvtabletop, where you can also get things like Discord access, biannual sticker packs, and more, such as our current ongoing patron-exclusive campaign, Serpent Sea Sagas. Hiss, hiss. We have an entire channel in our Discord called Connor's Bug Emporium that is for nothing but posting bugs so Connor can tell you what they are and some cool facts about them. So if you're interested in that and many of the other offerings we have there, consider joining our Patreon. Now let's do a round of plugs. Connor, would you take that this time around?
Yes, I was hoping you'd ask. Okay, so this last week I just beat a game from 1997? Or 99? Oh gosh, I don't remember. It was remade. Okay, I just beat Final Fantasy Tactics this last week, and that's what I want to plug.
Ooh.
First, I will say shout out to our sister podcast, I Cast Fireball. They are currently on a brief break because they have just wrapped up one of their most recent campaigns. So there is a lot to catch up on and listen to, and it's all really good stuff. Our boy Ned is a player in that one, and there's lots of shenanigans. We have a collab with fanrolldice.com/BO. There's no /BO. Use code VroomVroomFifi for 100% off your next order. Just kidding. Not really. It's
10% off.
10% off your next order.
Yes.
Again, that's VroomVroomFifi. Tell them BO sent ya. Nothing will happen, but I'll be stoked. Back to my Connor plug. Final Fantasy Tactics just got remade, I believe, last year to the Ivalice Chronicles with some of the best voice acting, full stop. And I just want to say, as a game from the 90s, the story is just as prevalent, and I would argue more so nowadays. Possibly the best final line in any game ever. Some of the best build crafting in any sort of RPG. Again, the cast they got for this remake, or I guess remaster, the Ivalice Chronicles, is just perfect. I don't know the name of the actor who plays Ramza, but it's what my younger brain always imagined he sounded like. A cast of some of the best characters ever written in fiction, some of the best like visual aesthetics. Yoshida, what's his name? Oh my goodness, the artist who does the... Anyway, just brilliant all around. Check out Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, or the original. It's brilliant, and it's on like every console.
Very nice. Well, everybody, with that, thanks for joining us here in the world of Jasmine Island. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and I've been joined by...
Christian Randall, I'm still here.
Connor Wood, my special interest is Fight Club.
Sammy Ryan, I'm really sorry about the spiders.
Much love and stuff, everybody. We'll catch you next time on Improv Tabletop.
Christian, I love your plan. I didn't hear any of it. You were frozen, buddy. I'm sorry.
Great plan. Let's do it.
And that's my plan.
Oh, cool. Freeze him! Yes!
No. So...
All right, so the universe doesn't want us to do Christian's plan.
Yeah,
Let's do my
apparently.
plan instead. I'm just kidding.